It started with what seemed like a normal evening. I was sitting at the kitchen table, scrolling through my phone after a long day at work when my mom came in. She looked tense. The kind of tense where you know she's about to ask you for something, but she's already convinced herself that you owe it to her. She had her tablet in one hand, her reading glasses perched at the tip of her nose, and a sigh that told me she was carrying the weight of the world, or at least that's what she wanted me to believe. She didn't start with small talk. No, how was your day, or how are things at work? Instead, she launched straight into it. We're planning a family trip overseas. It's important. Everyone's going. And if you don't go, it'll look bad, but the tickets are expensive. My heart jumped a little. A family trip. I hadn't been on one in years. Between my exhausting job, endless bills, and constantly being the one who had to prove myself, the idea of a vacation almost sounded unreal. But then she said it, the number that made my stomach sink. Flights are about $1,450 each. If you can't afford it, maybe you should stay behind. The way she said it wasn't gentle. It wasn't concern. It was more like a challenge, a dare, like she was already expecting me to fail. And I hated that. I hated being made to feel like the outsider in my own family, like the one who always fell short. So I nodded. I told her I'd figure it out. And I did. For weeks, I pinched every penny. No dinners out, no new clothes, no weekend plans. I packed lunches every single day, skipped coffee runs, and even dipped into my savings just to make it happen. Every dollar I saved, I imagined it buying me a seat on that plane. A seat that meant I wasn't forgotten, I wasn't excluded. I was the one who stayed behind. Finally, after weeks of scraping, I handed over the money. $9,540. Practically everything I had. And in that moment, I felt two things. Relief, because I thought I'd secured my place on this family trip, and exhaustion, because I knew what it had cost me, physically, mentally, financially. But the relief didn't last long. Because a few days later, while walking past her room, I caught a glimpse of her tablet screen. She was booking something online, and the big bold numbers on the flight confirmation page stopped me in my tracks. The tickets weren't $1,450. Not even close. I stood there frozen, my brain racing, trying to make sense of it. Maybe I misread. Maybe there were hidden taxes or upgrades. Maybe she was booking some kind of luxury package I didn't know about. But the more I stared, the more sickening the truth felt. The amount I'd given her, $9,540, wasn't covering my ticket. It was covering far more. And for the first time, I felt something I'd never wanted to feel about my own mom. Betrayal. The number wouldn't leave my head. $9,540. I replayed it over and over, staring at her tablet screen until my eyes blurred. The confirmation page clearly showed the flight price, $742 round trip per person. Not $1,450, not even close. And here's the kicker. I saw multiple seats booked, 5 of them. My name wasn't on any of the reservations. I felt my throat tighten. My palms went clammy. At first, I thought maybe it was some kind of mistake, that she booked the wrong flights, or maybe she was splitting it across cards. I wanted so badly to believe there was a reasonable explanation, but deep down I knew. I remembered her exact words. If you can't afford it, maybe you should stay behind. Stay behind. Like she didn't care whether I went or not. Like this whole thing wasn't about including me, it was about using me. I closed her door quietly and went back to my room, but my chest was pounding. My mind was racing with 100 questions. Where did the money go? Why did she need so much from me? And if she already had everything covered, why make me pay at all? The next day at breakfast, I decided to test the waters. I casually asked, "So, which airline did you book with? I just want to make sure I know the baggage policies." She froze for a split second, so quick most people wouldn't notice. But I did. My mom has this tiny twitch in her mouth when she lies, and it showed up instantly. Then she smiled too wide, too fake. "Oh, don't worry about that. I'll send you all the details later. Just focus on work." I nodded, but inside I was boiling. I knew she wasn't going to send me anything. That night I couldn't sleep. I opened my laptop and started checking flights myself. I typed in the exact dates she mentioned, the same city, the same destination. And there it was, the exact flight she had booked. The price glared back at me like a neon sign, $742. That's when the reality hit me like a punch to the gut. She had taken more than double the cost of one ticket. And I wasn't even listed as a passenger. I felt sick, betrayed, used. I lay awake staring at the ceiling, hearing her words on loop. If you can't afford it, maybe you should stay behind. It all clicked then. She never expected me to come on that trip. She never even wanted me there. The money wasn't about family. It wasn't about including me. It was about funding something else entirely. And I was going to find out what. The next few days were torture. I went to work, came home, smiled when spoken to, but inside I was churning with suspicion. Every time my mom picked up her phone, every time she hushed her voice in the other room, my stomach twisted tighter. One evening, I came home early from work. The house was unusually quiet, but I could hear faint laughter drifting from the living room. Curious, I peeked in. My mom was on a video call, her tablet propped up, talking animatedly with my brother and his wife. At first, I thought nothing of it until I caught a glimpse of the screen. Behind my brother, I saw a row of shopping bags, designer shopping bags, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Prada. And then I heard it, clear as day. Mom, thank you again. You really didn't have to do this, but we love everything. This trip is going to be amazing. My chest clenched. My mom laughed, brushing it off. Oh, don't mention it. You two deserve to enjoy yourselves. You've worked so hard. I just wanted to make sure you had everything you needed. I stepped back before she noticed me, my heart hammering against my ribs. Suddenly, it all made sense. The money wasn't for flights. It wasn't for family. It was for them. She had used my share to bankroll a luxury vacation for my brother and his wife. The betrayal was almost too much to process. I wanted to storm in, demand answers, throw the truth in her face. But I didn't. Not yet. Instead, I quietly went upstairs, sat on my bed, and let the realization sink in. This wasn't about money. This was about priorities. My mom had chosen them again. She always did. My brother was the golden child, the one who could do no wrong, the one she spoiled endlessly. I was the afterthought, the convenient wallet when she needed cash. That night, I couldn't hold it in any longer. When she came upstairs, humming to herself, I was waiting. Hey, Mom, I said, my voice sharper than I intended. Quick question, when were you planning to tell me that the tickets you booked weren't for me at all? Her face went pale. She froze, lips parting as if to protest, but no words came out. I pressed on, my voice trembling with anger. I saw the flight confirmation. I saw the prices. And today I saw the video call. You didn't book me a ticket. You didn't even plan to. You took my money, almost 10 grand, and used it to fund their trip. My brother's trip. Her eyes darted, searching for an excuse, a lifeline. Finally, she muttered, "It's not what you think." Really? I snapped. Because it looks exactly like what I think. You lied to me, you stole from me, and you expected me to just smile and accept it. Her shoulders slumped. For the first time, she looked small, guilty. But instead of apologizing, she whispered something that made my blood run cold. You don't understand. Your brother needs this more than you. Her words hung in the air like poison. Your brother needs this more than you. I stared at her, stunned, my fists clenching at my sides. Needs it more than me, I repeated, almost laughing. Since when does a luxury vacation count as a need? Since when does designer shopping equal survival? She looked away, wringing her hands. He's been under so much stress. His job, his wife, their bills. I cut her off. And what about me, Mom? Do you even know how many hours I've been working lately? Do you know the debt I'm still paying off? Or do I only exist when you need me to hand over money? Her lips pressed into a thin line. Don't be dramatic. That was it. That single phrase shattered what little restraint I had left. Dramatic. You lied to my face. You stole from me. Almost $10,000, Mom. Do you have any idea what that means to me? And the worst part is you didn't even blink when you did it, because in your eyes, my brother will always come first. Her face hardened. The guilt I thought I saw earlier evaporated, replaced with defensiveness. Don't talk about your brother like that. He's done more for this family than you realize. I laughed bitterly. Done more? He's the one who's constantly in debt, constantly being bailout out, constantly leeching off everyone else. And who makes it possible? You, by robbing me. That's when my brother's voice rang out from behind me. You need to shut your mouth. I spun around. He was standing in the doorway, his face red, his wife smirking just behind him. Of course, they had been listening. Oh, perfect, I said coldly. The golden boy himself. Tell me, how does it feel to have mommy pay for your vacations with money she stole from me? His jaw clenched. She didn't steal anything. She helped us because she cares. If you weren't so selfish, you'd understand that. Selfish? I nearly choked on the word. You're the one jetting off on a luxury trip funded by MY savings. You're the one flashing designer bags while I'm struggling to keep my head above water. And somehow, I'm the selfish one. His wife giggled. Maybe if you were more useful, your mom wouldn't hesitate to spend money on you too. The room went dead silent. My brother didn't stop her. My mom didn't scold her. They just let it sit there. And in that silence, something in me snapped. I straightened my back, my voice calm but firm. Fine, if this is how it is, if I'm nothing more than a wallet to you, then you've made your choice. But don't expect me to play along anymore. From now on, I'm done. No more money, no more support. No more me cleaning up your messes while you smile and call me selfish. My mom's eyes widened. You don't mean that. Oh, I do, I said, already heading toward the door. Enjoy your vacation. It's the last one you'll ever take on my dime. And then I left. For the first time in my life, I walked away without looking back. But deep down, I knew this wasn't the end. They weren't going to let go that easily. They would come back asking for more. And when they did, I was going to be ready. It had been 3 weeks since I walked out of that house. 3 weeks of silence, no phone calls, no texts. At first, I thought maybe they'd finally gotten the message. Maybe they realized I was serious. But I should have known better. The knock came late one evening. I opened the door and there they were, my mom, my brother, and his wife, standing like a defeated army. My brother looked exhausted, his wife was pale, and my mom, she looked older than I'd ever seen her. Can we come in? She asked quietly. I didn't move. Why? My brother stepped forward. We need your help. Things didn't go as planned. The trip cost more than we expected, and now we're behind on the mortgage. We're drowning. His wife piped up, her voice trembling. We thought you'd understand. You've always been the responsible one. Please, we just need a loan. A loan, of course. They hadn't come to apologize. They hadn't come to make things right. They came because they needed me again. I leaned against the doorframe, crossing my arms. So let me get this straight. You stole almost $10,000 from me, called me selfish, laughed when I walked out, and now you expect me to save you. My mom's eyes filled with tears. We were wrong. I was wrong. Please, sweetheart, just this once. Your brother's family. Stop. My voice was sharp enough to cut the air. Don't you dare use family as a bargaining chip. Family doesn't lie. Family doesn't steal. Family doesn't call you dramatic when you're begging to be seen. You want me to help? Then answer me this. What have any of you ever done for me? The silence that followed was deafening. No one spoke, because they knew the answer. I shook my head slowly. That's what I thought. My brother's face twisted in anger. You'll regret this. Don't forget who's always been the favorite. You'll be alone. I actually laughed. Maybe, but at least I'll be alone on my own terms, not surrounded by people who only see me as a bank account. And with that, I closed the door. The sound of it slamming shut echoed in my chest like a final verdict. For once, I wasn't the forgotten child, the backup plan, the safety net. I was free. And funny enough, without me propping them up, they were the ones left to drown. They thought they could rob me, belittle me, and still expect me to save them. But they forgot the one rule they'd taught me all my life: nothing lasts forever. not even their control over me.